Today's video is all about making this lovely writing desk, which allows you to read things up at an angle and write things up at an angle as well. You may see that I have two of these here, and also in this video we will be making a prototype first out of cardboard, and then the finished draft out of this hardboard / fiberboard. That is the end of today's tutorial. I hope you enjoyed watching today's tutorial, as I certainly enjoyed making it. I have made a few changes, so I'll just share them with you now. Firstly, I used some hot glue to attach some bracing on the underside here. So there's a piece of timber there, and there's a piece of timber inside, but it's a bit more difficult to see. And unfortunately, I couldn't make a pencil pot because the veneer style wood that I was trying to use to make it just snapped off the moment I tried to shape it. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed today's tutorial, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. The first stage of today's project is to make a prototype. I normally don't do this, but I thought it would be fun to try it out. Unfortunately, there was a bit of an error with some filming earlier, so I'm unable to show you how I actually made this, but I still think it's quite self-explanatory. This was made using some dense cardboard, and it has an open bottom with sides going all the way around it. This here is some slightly thicker cardboard, and that will stop any notebooks or books from just rolling down straight off it. And up there is a pencil pot. You may be thinking how I'm going to make the pencil pot actually when it comes to using the wood, but I'm just going to use a veneer type of wood. I think it's quite ambitious for me, but I'd like to try it out, and we'll just see how it goes. The next stage of this project is to decide what type of wood or timber I am going to use. My initial plan was to use some of this absolutely beautiful mahogany style wood that a friend has recently given me, but on second thoughts I thought that this project wasn't good enough to waste this beautiful wood on. So I decided to use some hardboard, which is something that we have absolutely loads of at the moment. And you may think it's not going to be strong enough, but we can also put some bracing in with some different strips of timber that I have just lying around. Let's start off by marking out this hardwood. I'm constantly using my prototype to get my dimensions from, because most of these are completely dead on. Be sure to check with a set square all the time, just to make sure that all of your lines are nice and 90 degrees. To cut this piece of wood, I have decided to go with an accurate and speedy way of cutting it, so I'm just going to use a jigsaw. When you are using a tool like this, only use it if you are confident with the tool and if you have eye and ear protection. you've finished sanding all your pieces, it is a good time to check that everything seems to fit alright. As far as I can see, I seem to have cut all of these accurately, which is good. So now I'm going to go on to assembling. This wood is way too thin for screws and nails, so I'm just going to use some of the classic Gorilla Glue. It's now time to start assembly. All I'm using here is a lollipop stick from a lollipop that I enjoyed a few days ago. So all I'm going to do is spread the Gorilla Glue right along here, and don't worry, this has quite a long working time, so it shouldn't dry on you while you're assembling the product. Yeah, I am just sort of being super messy with here, probably. I was looking through my scrap wood pile trying to find a decent piece of wood that would fit on here, which will stop any notepad or book from slipping down. And amazingly, I've just found this decent piece of wood here, which I'm going to attach to there, and I didn't actually have to saw it. It was absolutely remarkable. So that's just going to sit nicely on there, and I kind of got mad with the Gorilla Glue because it went absolutely everywhere. So I'm just going to use some Tesco Everyday Value white glue for this job. In the end, the Gorilla Glue wasn't actually strong enough to hold up these sides, and I know at the start I was reluctant to use hot glue, but I'm now going to enforce the insides of the structure with hot glue.